This is a bone-chilling video. I want you to take a few minutes to watch this video with me. I've lived here my whole life. I've never seen anything like this. Things that most of us have never seen in this country, we're seeing on a regular basis now. Take a minute and watch this video.
It's just after 6 a.m. on Flower Street. Amid the morning calm, a security camera captures a SWAT team moving in formation.
Wow.
Operators in tactical gear carry ladders into the backyard.
Assault weapons.
Another group enters the front.
Explosives on windows and doors.
Inside, Jenny Ramirez
SWAT
and two
team
kids
with
are sleeping when her
assault
phone rings.
weapons.
It's a neighbor calling.
Jenny, wake up, wake up. I see a lot of police in front of your house. Are you okay? Get up.
Out front, an armored vehicle pulls up.
Armored
It's
vehicles.
carrying a canine team,
Canine
a
teams.
photographer, and a drone operator.
A drone operator.
At the end of the convoy is a U.S. Border Patrol vehicle. These are federal immigration agents at the home of U.S. citizens,
Federal immigration
and they're ordering them
agents
to
at the
exit
home of citizens.
immediately. Agents wait 14 seconds, then blow out the bedroom window.
They wait
My
14
6-year-old
seconds
started
and blow out the
screaming,
window.
We're here, we're okay. But he wasn't understanding. It wasn't like something that happened to the house and they were coming to help us. I told him, they're not helping us.
The second explosion blows
A
off the front
second
door.
explosion to blow off the door.
We wanted to understand what prompted this show of force and use of manpower. These high-risk tactics, according to current and former federal officials, are typically used for drug smugglers and violent
This is
fugitives,
the kind of thing done for
not by immigration agents
serious
trying to arrest a
criminals,
U.S. citizen
violent criminals,
accused of injuring government property.
not innocent
Who it
U.S.
turns out
citizens.
isn't even home.
Mother with a
But
baby
closer
walks
look at
out
the
of the
footage
house.
shows the man behind this raid is on scene watching. This is Greg Bovino. Bovino's playbook is a stark departure from ICE, a separate arm of Homeland Security that's historically conducted more methodical, time-consuming investigations of individual targets.
On behalf of the men and women of the United States Border Patrol, it's time to turn and burn.
They're calling it
Turn
turn and
On to
burn.
that next target.
That's what they're calling it.
Turn and burn
Turn
isn't
and burn
showboat.
on U.S.
Bovino says
citizens.
It's using fast-moving shows of force to deter criminals and keep agents from getting bogged down by agitators so they can enforce laws that he says have been neglected for decades. But we took a deeper look at one of the operations featured on Bovino's timeline. This raid on Flower Street and the events that led up to it, syncing hours of video and audio from CCTV, social media, and a trove of never-before-seen police body cameras. We found behind Bovino's social media hype about law and order lies an entirely different story about his turn and burn playbook. The spiral of
Families
consequences
returning to their
and
home
emotions.
because the
backstory
person
of the
they
raid at Jenny
were looking
Ramirez's house
for,
began a week earlier.
her partner
An
was
immigration
not
operation
home.
At 2 nearby car washes that seized a handful of potential deportees, but it also led to 4 vehicle crashes.
This video
hours of
chronicles that
protests and violent clashes
this
with federal agents.
raid
Emergency
had
responses
something
by
to do
6
with some events that happened the week before.
Get us additional units from East LA, please. We gotta get this crowd out of here.
By day's end, 4 U.S. citizens with no
Where
prior
4
records
U.S.
of violence
citizens were
facing
arrested,
allegations of federal
all of whom
violations.
were ultimately innocent.
I just felt like they're trying to frame me as a criminal.
You jumped in front of the vehicle and
I was never charged. I was never read my rights.
We're U.S. citizens. I felt like we were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
On June 20th, across the heavily Latino suburbs southeast of Los Angeles, reports of immigration agents and angry backlash were becoming a routine part of daily life.
These fucking guys for one man.
They come in so aggressively, so violently. There's no reason for this kind of violence. Covered from head to toe.
Among the locations targeted was in the city of Bell, a local
Everybody
business
they
here
arrest,
along the main
they
drag,
throw on the ground.
Jack's Car Wash. It was like any other busy Friday afternoon, until around 2:40 p.m., when footage shows 7 seemingly ordinary vehicles begin to stream in. At least 16 people would emerge.
It's a lot of people for a little car wash.
One worker, who didn't want to be identified for fear of retribution, told the Times he thought the cars pulling in wanted a wash. The agents clearly spark fear for one customer, who runs into the drive-thru. Then, a worker dashes off in the opposite direction. Agents sprint after the runners, as new ones arrive to assist and search for more suspects. Meanwhile,
It's going
the
over
restaurant
2
parking
different
lot next to
events,
Jack's
and
are
both
Jenny
of them,
Ramirez and her partner George, who had just delivered an
well,
order
it's
for
clear that
baby.
these
They're in their
agents
Jeep
are
eating
so
a quick lunch
aggressive.
while the baby naps, she says.
with U.S.
And they notice a
citizens
man sitting
after
in a
they
parked
identify
SUV.
themselves
And
as
I'm like,
U.S.
maybe they're
citizens.
just waiting like us for orders. And then when I just like saw what looked like a rifle, I told him, let's go, let's go, let's go.
When George goes, he turns right, away from the car wash.
Córrele, primo, córrele, córrele, primo.
But now his black Jeep is driving into a high-speed pursuit. This blue pickup is an unmarked Border Patrol vehicle, chasing the fleeing car wash worker, who, according to this driver's video synchronized with CCTV footage, runs right in front of George's Jeep.
We were like so close to like running him over, and then we'd see this blue truck trying to ram us on my side. I just thought it was road rage at that point because the vehicles are not marked or anything.
But then the pickup suddenly stops to let an agent jump out.
So they're claiming that this person
It gets
tried to
rear-ended by
block
George's Jeep. Immediately, masked agents emerge.
ICE agents who are in an unmarked
They jumped
car.
out, and they were going towards us, and we didn't even have anything to do with it.
They had
We were
nothing to
just
do
trying
with
to
this.
Get away from that place.
George tries to back away, but his bumper is hooked onto the pickup.
And it turns out
The
he's a
vehicle
U.S.
surges
citizen.
right into a gray vehicle behind them. Meanwhile, about 5 minutes away in the neighboring town of Maywood at Express Fleet Wash, another turn and burn operation is about to unfold. Driving nearby on his way to work is Edgardo Urias, a 19-year-old college student. His dash camera shows a blue SUV on his left, veering into his lane and cutting him off.
There was no signal, no anything. And I just thought like regular LA drivers.
But then the SUV suddenly stops in a busy lane of traffic, and the back door flies open. The impact sends Edgardo's side mirror flying.
There's a
through his
second
window.
individual, a U.S. citizen, who's driving down the street when an ICE agent
No one in
opens
the
up
SUV appears to
his
acknowledge the
door,
collision.
knocks off
2 men in ballistic vests
his
scramble out to the drying area.
mirror, side view mirror,
Other
And then they
agents
go
who hang
after
back
him.
to dislodge their car door
even
ignore
though he had
Edgardo.
nothing to do with this.
See that this is like a suspected ICE raid. Like I'm still not gonna leave without insurance because that could be like still a hit and run on me. And then I also have my car messed up.
For nearly 2 minutes, Edgardo, who seems free to leave, snaps photos and pleads for insurance. But then, after taking down a passerby who flees into traffic, agents abruptly turn their sights on Edgardo.
I'm just confused. What's going on?
Now they're arresting him for impeding federal agents. The guy had nothing to do with this.
After they caused an accident.
Back at Jack's car wash, a worker in green named Manuel is getting questioned and detained.
Leave them alone, they're just working.
Jose Cervantes Licia is a longtime employee of Jack's who appears increasingly agitated watching the raid unfold. Suddenly, he charges toward the agent, leading Manuel away.
Well, I didn't do nothing. Oh shit!
A scuffle breaks out.
Oh shit! Hey!
Then, a silver pickup flies across oncoming traffic and rams into an unmarked federal vehicle. Manuel gets loose. Jose gets chased. Both get caught and cuffed. At the same time, up the street from
Man
Jack's,
screaming he's a U.S. citizen.
Jenny and George's Jeep is still hooked to the pickup, and they're sitting inside, terrified the masked agents are trying to take George into custody.
Get out of the car, get out of the car. Trying to get George out, but they
Now
didn't
the
say
ICE
who they
agents
were.
are trying to
They
get
didn't say why.
the man
We didn't open the doors.
they
because
claimed
we were scared.
impeded their arrest when
One
they
agent
crashed
pulls out a
into him.
baton.
It's the second individual,
Another
also
fires
a
pepper
U.S.
ball
citizen.
Hey, they got a family. Put the guns away.
Agents say they're trying to stop George from fleeing, according to court documents, after what they allege was a deliberate collision to block their pursuit. Former agents told The Times a pursuit on busy city streets for a subject who posed no known threat wasn't part of Border Patrol training during the previous administration. At the other car wash in Maywood, no express workers or customers are detained. Bovino's turn and burn playbook appears to be backfiring.
Guys, don't got nothing else to do, huh?
As the crowd grows and tensions rise.
They're saying that this would have never happened if like I would have just like been on my way, but I was being on my way. I was just trying to go to work.
Yo, what's your name? Brother, what's your name? What's your name? Back to the truck.
Over in Bell, federal backup is flooding in, but none of the heavily armed masked agents can defuse the situation. Initially, officers try to handle the collision like any other.
Can you tell me what happened?
They cut me off today. I couldn't break no more.
The Border Patrol agent says the opposite. The GP says cut him off.
I tried to go around him, chasing this guy, and I was going to go off the curb, but I couldn't, so I slammed on my brakes and he was right on me.
The agent also alleges to police that George might be a repeat offender.
I'm pretty sure I had something similar with him the other day, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
And once officers get Jenny and George to exit the Jeep,
Nobody's gonna take this, right? This is gonna be good.
We're U.S. citizens.
and a tow truck positioned to unhook the vehicles,
Okay, you guys are good?
Jenny says they're told they can go home.
I asked the Border Patrol too, are we free to go? He said, you guys are fine. Go.
So now the Border Patrol tells them they can go, and this video is a video of the guy whose home a week later they blew out the door and blew out the windows with a SWAT team and explosives.
We'll probably need your assistance. Right. We have several vehicles that are trapped over here by the crowd, so we'll need to push them out. Okay.
The federal vehicles, they say, must all leave together to protect against attacks. The moment that shifts the protests into violence comes when two new federal vehicles arrive.
Now you got federal
Accelerate toward the
agents
crowd.
driving their cars into a
Tried
crowd,
to run some folks over.
like,
Bystanders erupt at federal agents
almost hitting people.
and at local police. As the sergeant waves people to cross, this federal vehicle starts rolling toward them. A man bangs on the hood and immediately gets pinned to the ground. The takedown sets off new backlash.
Another guy's taken down.
And a hail of tear gas.
Oh my God!
Local police caught up in the scuffle
Watch out, we're taking shit.
call for emergency help.
Three, can you get us additional units from East LA, please?
We need mutual aid 999.
You guys almost out of here?
I have 2 flat tires now, so I don't know.
It was during these minutes of mayhem that federal agents made the one request that police officers denied.
You guys go over to take this guy. I can't.
Bro, they pushed me with the car, dude.
You jumped in front of the vehicle and you are hitting the vehicle.
That is not what happened, according to Isaias Pena Salcedo.
This is where I was listening to the officer telling us to cross, and that's when.
Isaias, a 25-year-old construction worker, said he hadn't come to protest. He'd been headed to a nearby grocery store with his friend's family and reluctantly agreed to see what was causing the commotion. When violence erupted, he says he was following orders to leave.
I was told by the officer to clear the path. He took my passport, put it right back in my pocket, tossed me into the truck.
He's not allowed, he's a kid!
Get back over on the other side. It's getting dangerous out here.
Before the federal convoys finally leave the scenes in Bell and in Maywood, federal agents deploy more tear
Place
gas
is
to a
bedlam.
nearby park,
People are so aggressive with U.S.
and the
citizens.
streets filled with local police officers.
I had one explode in my face.
They were dropping off all the people they caught, and they were mad because they're like, "Oh, how much did we get today?"
They were just saying that like they had one body and that was me, and then some other guys had 2 bodies.
3, and they're all USCs, like U.S. citizens.
They captured 3
At least
people,
one detainee
all
was not a
U.S.
US
citizens,
citizen.
all of whom had
Co-workers said
identified
meanwhile,
themselves
the car
as
wash
U.S.
employee in
citizens.
green was
Said,
deported
check
to
my
Mexico
wallet,
within
check my
days.
wallet.
DHS did not respond to questions about the Jack's customer who fled, or the man detained near Express Car Wash. But the collateral damage was vast.
You had the traffic collision, you had the deployment of gas by the federal agents, vandalism against both the federal vehicles and against our vehicle.
Bell police faced days of protest and spent months investigating each act of vandalism. But the chief said his officers were caught off guard, not only by the federal operation, but also by their tactics.
Anytime you move crowds,
The police are saying they were caught off guard by the operation. They didn't know that the federal operation was going to occur, the raid, and by their tactics, they said. They said,
but we as an agency will not drive into
they said, we as an agency, this is the Bell Police Department, will not drive into a crowd the way the ICE agents did.
For Jose Cervantes Lucia, who declined interview requests, it led to home detention and felony charges of assault on a federal officer. The charges were later reduced to a misdemeanor, and Jose accepted a plea deal. Isaiah says he spent almost 3 days locked up, not allowed to call a lawyer or even his family.
I was never charged. I was never read my rights. I wasn't even allowed to see the judge.
At least one of the 3 who were arrested, all were innocent. One of the 3
He said he had no idea
never got to call a lawyer and was stuck for 3 days.
You're just in there looking at the ceiling at the white paint. I thought I was going to be in there for a couple years, so I was already mentally preparing myself.
Like it just messed up my head mentally, like pretty bad.
So all 3 of these U.S. citizens were released because they didn't have any evidence that they had committed a crime, and yet alleged that all of them had committed a crime initially, and that they saw it.
Sent it to his boss.
It's crazy.
He's just like, wow.
It's the United States of America.
On behalf of the ICE and Border Patrol, because they never did. So.
In mid-July, Bovino posted this ominous video of the raid at George's house.
And now ICE agents are posting a video about how they went into this home, blew out the door with SWAT, armored vehicles, assault weapons.
His case.
Folks, this is the United States of America. All 3 of them were innocent. All the charges were dropped. It's unacceptable. We've got to stop this. We can't allow this to continue. It will only escalate. It will only become more pervasive throughout this country if we don't stand up and say no. No to these ICE raids like this, targeting Latinos because of their color of their skin or their language, communities that are disproportionately, overwhelmingly Latino. They're Americans. We're all Americans. Let's stand up for one another. It's wrong. It's un-American. And we've got to stand up and say no.